Hey, what's going on? How you doing, guy or girl listening to this podcast or watching it? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. Aiden seems to be doing pretty well, and we are back in the
Oh yeah.
saddle. Oh yeah, hit it, baby, off mic. Um, yeah, we're back in the saddle. We're absolutely. I think we're what is this? 14, 12, 13, somewhere wrong. We were talking about it before. Either way, man, we're chilling. We're feeling good. We've still got a couple in the can before I can release that one episode where I was a day late because I was yapping my little yapper about something that I shouldn't have been yapping about. But yeah, we're almost that cat's almost out of the bag, and now we're just back. We're locked in, baby. It is it feels like we're kind of maybe it's this is just my first summer in Nashville, but spring was very short lived here. It kind of hops to just being deeply hot very quickly. So hey, man, I've kind of liked that. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but your boy is suntan. Some people call it sunburned. I just call it getting that first burn out of the way, and then I'm tan, baby. I can take some sun in. You know, I went down to Miami, and you want to talk about a different kind of heat? That is truly a different kind of heat. I went down to Miami for literally one afternoon and ended up looking like Pitbull. I spent one afternoon at the beach in Miami, and I looked like a Puerto Rican guy, with the bald head and the yellow glasses. Dude, Miami's a vibe. Miami's a vibe. I'm not necessarily saying good vibe, bad vibe, but it certainly is one. It is its own town, dude. That place is it is wild. I mean, just a lot of skin. My goodness, that's where you go, dude. I guess people save money because Miami is like an expensive city. So when you fly there, you probably want to save as much money as you can. So just don't check any bags and only bring like, half a pound of clothes with you to Miami because that's really all you got to wear, dude. In most parts of the country, it's no shoes, no shirt, no service. I saw a woman in a thong barefoot in a Walgreens, dude. I mean, power to you. I guess it makes you feel powerful to be a man or a woman with a fully exposed butt in public. Maybe it does. It sounds like hell to me. I don't know, man. Obviously, I'm cut from a different cloth than some of the fine folks down in Miami, but I just couldn't believe how exposed everyone was. I was so taken aback. I felt like an old grandma. I was walking around. I was like, what are you doing? I turned into Sebastian. I was like, aren't you embarrassed? I was like, what are you doing? It can't be comfortable. You're getting sand everywhere. And everyone's walking around. You're either a guy walking around like this, just looking up at the sky and at the palm trees so that you're not trying to, freak every girl out, or you're just a guy walking around like this. And there were both. You could see him. I mean, goodness gracious. Just a wild town. And I really enjoyed it. I got to take it in, I'm not complaining. I got to go to Miami. I opened up for Theo. It was really cool, man. It was really cool. I'm not complaining about it, but just like observing the city, it was wild. It was so different, man. We went to a nightclub after it. Went to a nightclub, like a famous nightclub in Miami. It's called 11. And they were so above board and top notch, and security was really good, and it was great. And it was like the most fun that I'll never have again, that I don't, it's so not my vibe. And you go into this nightclub, man, and it's, I don't know. Maybe I'm letting my own, like opinions and bias mull it too much because certainly there were people there that seemed like they were having a good time, but man, no one there was actually having a good time. There's no way. You can't hear anything or see anything. It's like sensory overload. I mean, all humans are doing, every one of us is just finding a way to distract ourselves from the, just sheer uh, terror and vastness of the infinite possibilities that our life could go down. So you distract yourself, and some people, distract themselves in a beautiful way by just pouring themselves into some job and their family and their little kids, and that's great. But it is a distraction. Um, that's what we're trying to do. I drink too much beer. I'm just trying to distract myself. I'm trying to kind of tamp down that voice of doubt in my head. And everyone is out here looking for a distraction. So I'm not judging these people at the nightclub, but that is like the distraction Olympics, dude. Oh my gosh. It's like, here's how I distract myself. Here's how I know that I've got some like unresolved stuff that I should sit in silence and ponder and figure out. I listen to a podcast constantly. I've always got something in my ears. If I'm walking through Target, I've got one of my headphones in, I'm listening to something. It's like you should be able to go on a walk without being stimulated like that. You should be able to go on a drive without being stimulated like that. I struggle with that. But it's like if I got to listen to a little bit of like whatever, Ran So Far with Blake so that I can like tamp the voices down in my head, that pales in comparison to these poor souls that are going to nightclubs in Miami. It is audio, visual, sensory overload. You're not going. No one's actually enjoying themselves. I swear, there's no way. It's like a war zone. You walk in, flashing strobe lights. Then I mean, boobs everywhere. It's not a strip club, but just out boobs. It's crazy. Boobs everywhere, butts everywhere, drugs everywhere, alcohol everywhere, lights, bass, boom, boom, boom. It's not. You don't go there to like relax. You go there to like you just do that for like 4 hours. And I don't know. All I could think about is I was sitting there. All I could think about was getting home. And again, I'm not complaining. It was great. I was with Theo. We were behind the rope. People were coming with the sparklers and stuff. But it's like, again, I'm not being holier than thou. I saw through it. I'm like, this is a facade. No one's enjoying this. No one's enjoying this. Girls up there dancing. Just, it's like it got a dark energy to it. It really does. Every guy's jaw is going like this. What's up, man? Come on, man. You want something? It's like, nah, dude, I just don't. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was, that was a lot to take in, man. The Miami nightclub scene, like for the first time. Dude, thousands of people were there. And I just couldn't help but think, like, for 90% of the people that were at that bar, I mean, by the way, worth noting, dropping hundreds of dollars. Probably $50 to get in. The bottle girl came up and was like, "Can I get you a drink?" I was like, "You got a Bud Light?" She like laughed in my face. It's like it's not. It is so far away from my vibe. It was really fun to witness, but yeah, the most fun I'll never have again. That's what struck me. It's like people were going there, looking to distract themselves, scratching that little dopamine drip of hope. Maybe I'll go out there and like. Get lucky or something really fun will happen, something like that. Oh, thank you, Podcast Dad. Maybe something like that. Maybe you could score in more ways than one. And I'm sure a lot of people did. But I'd say 85, 90% of the people that were there blew more money than they could stand to lose. And then I just couldn't help but think how quiet the hotel room would be that night. Juxtaposed to just the dubstep. I mean, I'm not even just the beat. Like, I'm talking like smoke cannons going off periodically where it's
pyrotechnics.
Pyrotechnics. 4 Asian DJs. Imagine the energy, dude. Like, it was crazy. 4 Asian DJs DJing at the same time. I mean, dude, it was sick. It was like every Fast and Furious movie in a room. But dude, the crushing silence of leaving that, pouring yourself into an $85 Uber back to your hotel, that your hotel's probably on the outskirts of Miami because you blew your wad on the outfit and on the rental car and on the club cover and the bottle service. Dude, guys with like entry level sales jobs getting a $500 bottle of vodka. It's like, for what, man? Go get a 12-pack and sit on the beach with your boys and talk about some shit. I don't know. Power to it, man. It was fun to witness. It is not my bag. And if you were down there, and again, this is not besmirching 11. If you are into the devil, then that is the best club in the world. It was crazy. It was crazy. It's like a James Bond movie. It was like a villain, and it was like a level in a video game. Couldn't believe it. It was fun. It was very fun. I had to go pee, so I went up to one of the security guards. I was like, hey, man, I got to pee. And you would have thought that I was like, hey, man, I'm bleeding out. I got to get out of here. It was so fun. Like, just a sea of people, the people that I'm describing right now, and then I've got to pee. So then there's two security guards, like, flashing their flashlights, and I'm walking behind them off an edible, just like, what? It was such a sick experience, man. Again, I'm never trying to complain. I'm just like reporting the news of Lee back to you, man. I'll tell you what, the news of Lee. If you're listening to this, if you like me enough that you're listening to this, then you might have seen this on my Instagram story. But in Miami, I met the president of the United States' daughter. Ivanka Trump was at the show in Miami, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was going to be at the show, and until I showed up to the venue and I walked into my dressing room and it was filled with the Secret Service. Just like a bunch of nondescript men in suits who are just like lethally trained by the government never to smile. It was intense, man.
Did you try to break them?
Oh, hell yeah. It was a comedy show. But like, yeah, so I walk in and the Secret Service is in my dressing room. And that was just truly wild. And they searched all my bag. They were like, can I search your bag? And I was like, sure, man. I mean, what if I say no? I can't say no. So I said, yeah. And they searched my bag. They obviously didn't find anything. And they told me where Ivanka was going to be sitting. And she was sitting like off to the right of the stage with her husband, Jared Kushner, who is like just like oddly one of the more powerful people in the world. And being around them was crazy and exciting and awesome. You know, it's like I'm sure if I spent a day going down a rabbit hole of everything bad Jared Kushner's ever done, sure, I'd find plenty of stuff, you know, but I'm not going to do that. And I met Ivanka Trump. The only thing she's ever been guilty of is being the daughter of a guy who a lot of people don't like. And kind of disappointing, not surprising at all. I did have some people reach out to me who were, quote, disappointed that I took a picture with her, you know? And that is funny to me, the idea of taking the moral high ground, or this alleged moral high ground that some of these people think that they have, and in a moral righteous act, they would be mean to a woman who was at your comedy show and like not show her kindness and not take a picture. She has to take a picture with me. You know, that's crazy. She saw the act. I was doing a joke and I look over and the president of the United States' daughter sitting there. She loved it. How about this for a comedy bucket list, man? You know, old Jay Cush, pretty tied up into some wild stuff. I did an Epstein joke in front of him, dude. Who else on planet Earth has done a Jeffrey Epstein joke for Jared Kushner and where the Heat play? I'm sorry. Again, man, that saying that out loud's wild time, man. That's some crazy shit. Being around the Secret Service was so intense. I get off the stage and like you're adrenaline dumped, baby. We had just done a curtain call. You go out there, Theo says your name. Everyone's like, yeah, you really got to walk yourself back, you know? So I'm come off stage and I'm all hot and I come around the corner. I'm skipping around. I'm going to my room and I come around the corner and there's Ivanka and Jared and Theo and the Secret Service. And I come around the corner too hot and all the Secret Service just twitch. Like literally. And I stopped in my tracks and I put my hands up and like just put my like folded my hands in my front, and I went like this, and I kind of went I went like to one of the Secret Service guys, and he was cool. There was one cool one. He was like, "You're good."
How many guys?
Five that we saw, but I would venture probably 20, 25 spread throughout the whole building. Yeah, no, everywhere. And you don't know where they were. Like, it was so nuts to be in a scenario. Maybe one of the first scenarios, at least where I was aware of it, where if I had riffed the wrong thing or made the wrong move or like the intrusive thoughts that people get. Intrusive thoughts strike us all. I think like a really common one is if you're walking across a bridge or you walk out on a hotel balcony or something. There's that weird part of your brain, not the suicidal part of your brain, but that weird part of your brain that like is like I could jump. Like my brother and my grandfather were stricken with that in a serious way, like to the point where they don't really mess with heights. Like I've been walking across a bridge with my brother and he has jumped off of it, like into the water, like just these weird intrusive thoughts where your body's just like, hey, that's an option. The intrusive thought when you're with like someone of the level like of Ivanka Trump and you're surrounded by the Secret Service, you're just like, if I riff the wrong thing right now, I could get shot in the head 5 times. You know? Like if I had like gone up to her and just been like, I'm gonna get you, come here, Vonk. Like I could have been ended so swiftly. It probably wouldn't have even been a gun. It probably would have been like a blow dart that I didn't even know about. And then it's weird because it's like you're around some of these people, and then you start thinking it's like there were background checks and stuff being done. And it's out in the news now, so I'm not spilling the beans. I wasn't supposed to talk about it for a minute, but Theo just went and performed for the troops in Qatar, and I was supposed to go. I got a call from Bizzle, my boy Bizzle, who runs the whole Theo shit. And he goes, hey, man, are you in Nashville? And I go, yeah. And he goes, well, the Secret Service is like doing a background check on you right now, and they're vetting you. And if it passes, then you're going to get on a plane from Nashville to Miami and then go from Miami to Dubai and Dubai to Qatar and perform for the troops and the president. So that was like in the cards. I was going to go and do that. And then they just didn't have enough time. It was like a 5-hour notice. And I mean, dude, the Secret Service was vetting Lee Michael Kimbrell. How crazy is that?
We have the same middle name.
Michael, come on now, Aiden. Michael? Come on. No, I mean, dude, the level of stuff, and it's not like they read whatever my dossier is and were like, oh, this guy's a threat. But I think the official verbiage that Bizzle told me was that this is too high level of a scenario, and the subject has been deemed inappropriate. Which is crazy. Like they just needed more time to figure out what I was on. Yeah, which is wild to think about. We all know that our information is out there, Like I think that I've got some sort of like, I feel like my iPhone doesn't have my facial recognition, Nothing has my facial recognition yet. And I think I'm like sticking it to them or whatever. I'm like, I'm not giving them my face, but it's like they got my thumbprint or whatever. I know we're all kind of got. I'm not trying to be pessimistic here or nihilistic. I'm just saying we're all kind of got. They got us, And but it's wild to think about the kind of shit that the Secret Service was pulling up there. I mean, I wonder. It's probably not old Facebook posts. It's probably like the cell phone recordings that the NSA have of like me. Yeah, I would love to see what that profile looked like, dude. I want to see the Lee Kimbrell file so bad. Yeah, in that crazy. I was almost in Qatar right now. And then did hop on the phone with Theo when we went over a set for like an hour because there's all sorts of things to take into consideration, man. He was doing comedy for the president and like 3,000 Air Force men over there in Qatar, and we wrote a bunch of jokes and picked part, and it was just really cool. So yeah, man, I wrote some jokes yesterday that the president probably heard. which is really crazy to think about. And I mean, of course, you can't. I'm not naive, man. I know how much people hate this guy. I don't fall into the camp. I don't love him. Not to get too political here. I think being apolitical is important, man. I really do. For real. It's like there are things that you should take a stand on for sure if you deem them, but especially in the world of comedy, man. If I came out and were like, th- first off, I don't really hold any beliefs that are that hard or divisive anyway, Like most Americans who haven't been fully psyoped one way or the other, we're pretty much just trying to get along. Just get by. I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers, upset anybody, or get upset by anyone else. But as soon as a comedian comes out and you know exactly where they stand on everything, then the element of surprise is lost. You know, you take the misdirect away because everyone knows exactly where you stand. And I'm not trying to be like sneaky with you and not let you know what I believe, but I just tell you what I believe is like kind of just live and let live. God, it sounds like such a cop out. I'm not trying to sound like an idiot right now, but I think everyone, not everyone, that's me projecting, but a lot of people in my life over the last really 5 years, starting with COVID, you have a couple beliefs and opinions, and you get really pigeonholed into who you are. And trust me, from the outside looking in, you see a picture. I'm out with the guy who had Trump on the pod, man. I met his daughter. I met Jake Paul wearing a MAGA hat. I get it, but I get it, and I guess I'm not even pleading my case because I not in some pompous way. I just can't really care. I know where I stand. I know where I stand. I just know where I stand. And if you think I'm some NAZI, then you clearly don't really know me at all, and that's okay with me. It's it's a weird thing. Doing this and being in the public eye, and again, I know that sounds so shitty too, the public eye, but I guess everyone kind of is now, right? With social media, and it's like you don't even have to do stand up, or you don't even have to have a podcast. You could just be a person with an Instagram and some opinions, and now you're in that sphere, like the social media sphere, the internet sphere. It's like everyone can hop in now. So we're all in this public eye, and not like this is some hot take, but a very false eye. The person that is portrayed on whoever's Instagram, it's very rarely really who they are or what they're about. I know people on both sides of the aisle, as left as you can go and as right as you can go, and on the internet they are insufferable, telling people what to think and how to live, man. On either side of the coin, man. Can't not my bag at all. But then you meet them in person, and that's just not who they are. That's not who they are. And if they are, then guess what? They don't have any friends because no one wants a mad, angry person to be in their life. No one loves war. I don't have one friend who loves war. What? I got some friends who play too much Call of Duty, but it's like the idea that somebody is like likes peace and harmony or something more than I do because I took a picture with a woman after a comedy show. It's like, buddy, I don't know what to tell you. I was talking to this one guy on Instagram, and I shouldn't have even been writing him back. These are just random people. And he hit me with something like, can't believe you would take this picture. Can't believe you would repost it. And I go, would you take this picture if you met her? And he said, absolutely not. And then I hit him back. I go, well, lucky for you, you'll never be in the scenario. It's like, well, you got to making me defend myself for meeting a lady, kind of got me worked up, but it is what it is, man. It started during COVID, man. It started during that. I was just always middle of the road. I mean, dude, talk to my grandpa. My grandfather thought I was the most lived out idiot he's ever met in his life. You know? Just like everyone else, 25, 26 years old, getting in these complicated discussions with my father. And I'm just like, Dad, you're racist. And he's like, I'm not. I promise I'm not. You know? I promise I'm not. And then I don't know. You come back around. Yeah. You come back around. It's just funny. Uh, that's where it started with it. And it was crazy. Like I was doing comedy shows and other comedians were really upset about that. And I'll never that's like defining. That defines me, and people, the folks who were staunchly, the folks who oddly enough just loved COVID, loved it. Stay at home, get that money, don't see anybody. That sadly, that was a life that is pretty tailored for somebody who is already sad. And then I do think that they enjoyed everyone else around them being at their level, and I don't take any joy in that, but that is what it was, that's what it felt like to me, at least. And then, yeah, some people just never came back. Some people just never came back, dude. And it is what it is, and we're here right now. I mean, it's so crazy that I met the president's daughter, and I don't need it to be celebrated, but it just was crazy that it was bad. You know? What have we become? We're so divisive. It's not black or white. It's not this or that. It can be a lot of different things. And I know that doesn't really make any sense, but you don't come here for like brilliant philosophies. If you're still listening to this thing a dozen into it, then, baby, you're going to be here for the 100th one, and you just kind of like listening to the boy try to keep the ball up in the air for a half hour. And I think I'm getting better at it, and I know Aiden's getting better at it. Me and Aiden are locked in, baby. We're locked in. I think that this podcast is, I know it's something I'm really proud of, and I just am going to keep manifesting it and keep saying it at the end of every episode. It will take off. You will be an absolutely hipster, where you'll get to say, I was there at the beginning. I was there at the beginning, and dude, when I do the episode 150, me and Aiden go down and do it at Mar-a-Lago, then we'll just be like, whatever, dude. Yeah,
fully Trump.
Yeah, oh yeah. I do this episode, and then the next one I come back and I just have his hair. I'm just like, absolutely, I mean, whatever, dude. We're all losers. It's okay. We're figuring it out, man. And the guests will be coming soon. And again, they will be behind the paywall. But baby, I'm just teasing it more and more teasing it. And I rambled so much on this one that I didn't even get a chance to hit the tee. So I love you guys very much. And I'll see you next time. Aiden, take it easy.